Okay, great. So handing over to Luis again, I think, for continuing our workshop going into green financing. Important topic, Luis.
Very important topic of green financing. Kartika, or I can
Yes,
maybe...
thank you so much. I think it was awesome presentations on dental marketing, and I hope our participants can bring home some tips and tricks for the next few months to try things out. So now I would like to invite Dr. Michael Pompeya, Head of Strategy and Communication from the SME Mauritius. Michael, if you like, you can turn on your video.
Yes, can you hear me on already? Can you hear me?
Loud and clear, thank you. Please go ahead,
Okay.
thank you.
Good, thank you very much, Kartika. So ladies and gentlemen, good afternoon. Thank you, first of all, to Sustainable Island Mauritius and the Tourism Authority and all the partners working on this very important project. So today, combining these two themes, communication and greening, is, I think, a very important concept, which is really of personal interest to me, because I sincerely believe that greening is where we should go, and not only for SMEs in the tourism sector, but also for SMEs at large in general in Mauritius. And in this era, in this ecosystem, where we generally say that one of the main disadvantages of SMEs is their size, I believe that SMEs can lead the way for innovation, for greening, because today all the different institutions in Mauritius, we are doing a lot in order to help SMEs to go toward greening, and greening is the future. So if we go to the first slide, we will see that SME Mauritius is a private company fully owned by the state, which was incorporated in 2017, and our main role is to accompany here SMEs. And also when we talk about SMEs, there is a perception in Mauritius, unfortunately, that SMEs are only those dealing with pickles or the vacua basket. This is really not true at all, and we want to change this perception, and that's why we are collaborating with other stakeholders like the Tourism Authority, Sustainable Island Development, because we believe that SMEs is broader than only baskets or pickles that people use to, but which is very tasty and interesting for the tourist industry. So if we have a rapid look to the next slide, we see that SMEs today, they need support, because out of this chaos, the pandemic, apart from the different issues which is associated with the pandemic has been a game changer, giving time to business owners, to SMEs in the hospitality sector, SMEs in the tourism sector, to think, and I would say rethink their business model. And this is where the greening part is getting in. And I will jump on this wonderful occasion. I think that Luis broadcasted in a very nice video on Gat Adventure, where we can understand that the size of the business is very important. They talk about 12 persons in the tour group and so on. So we can see here today that the size of the business is an advantage. And if you are an SME in the tourism sector, this can give you the opportunity to be a lead in terms of innovation, that is to use green energy, to use all the green aspect, go for the sustainable equipment for your production. All these we'll see in the next slide. What are the different grants that are available at SME Mauritius? First thing that we have, it is a technology and innovation scheme, which is about teens. And before proceeding, I would like to clarify one important thing, that by definition in Mauritius, MSMEs are considered all businesses having a turnover of less than 50 million rupees. So if you are below 15 million rupees, you are eligible for these different schemes that we will discuss today. So the first one, the technology and innovation scheme. Here you can see that SME Mauritius will cater for 80% of the total cost, up to a maximum of 150,000 rupees. And you as SME in the tourism sector or in any sector, but we are talking about the tourism sector today, you will have to come up with 20% of the amount, meaning that your contribution to adopt green equipment, to use green technologies, is up to 20%, and the 80% is for SME Mauritius. We're going to cater for this. So what can you have access to? And the teams, first of all, you can purchase the anti-pollution, green and energy conservation technologies, which is today very important. Remember that most of the panelists mentioned about it. Customers want a business which is protecting the environment. They want to know the impact of the traveling, how this is impacting on the environment. That's why sustainability is very important. Using greening is the most important, and especially for our SMEs. Second, we have a very interesting concept that we are promoting, be it for SMEs in the tourism sector and other SMEs, is the solar PV panels. Mauritius, of course, is known to be a very sunny island, so why not use this technology extensively? Water treatment mechanism, and of course, recycling mechanism. So all these, you can look into it, find a best option for your business, and if you decide to adopt it, you can come to SME Mauritius to discuss how you can apply for these different grants which is given to you. It is not a loan, it is a grant, meaning that when given to you, there's nothing to pay back afterwards. So we move to the next slide about the eligibility criteria. This is the question is, who can get access to these grants? Am I eligible? The first thing, as I told you at the beginning, that you should have a turnover less than 50,000 million. This is the first thing. Second thing, you can see that the top is 150,000 rupees. Who will get 50,000 rupees? Who will not get 50,000 rupees? This is another question. And the answer is in this particular slide. So two things you are going to take in consideration. The first one is your turnover. Okay. So the higher is your turnover, okay, the more you will be eligible to be in category D. The higher is the number of employees that you have, the more you will be eligible to be in category D again. So here, if you're a small business with low turnover, low number of employees, you will fall into category 1, and then this will move. This calculator is available on our website. If you want to know which category you fall in, you can go on our website, www.smemu.org, www.smemu.org. You can input the figures and see the category that you fall in and what you can expect to receive from SME Mauritius. Other important documents that you should have, of course, a BRN. Second, you should also have a certificate from the SME registration unit of the Ministry of SMEs, which is at Popenici Street in Port Louis. When you have these two documents and you are in operation for at least 6 months, then you will be eligible, fully eligible to receive these grants. As I mentioned, you have the first one, which is TINS, and can help you to use different green technologies for your business. So next slide, please. This, I think that most of those actually present, you should have go through the register of companies, having your BRN and so on. The next slide also will give you more detail about, if you can go for the next slide. Next slide, please. Yes. This is, again, documents that you should submit. I know that most of the business, all the business have the BRN, but when it comes to the SME registration, this is something different because it is not compulsory by law, so you may work without it, but unfortunately, to have access to our schemes, to our grants, you should be registered to the registration unit. So what you will need when you come to the registration unit, of course, your BRN, if you are an individual, your identity card, and also if you are in the tourism sector, you will need to have your license from the tourism authority, from a license from the beach authority if needed. And the same apply for a company, but for a company, you will need to have other set of documents, which I will invite you to consult, that is the website of the Ministry of SMEs before you come, because this will help you, of course, not to go and come back again to have your registration done. So this process will take about 7 to 10 days. So it's quite rapid, I would like to say. So the next slide, please. Here you are. This is for the sole traders. If you are an individual, you will need your ID card, you will need your trade license, BRN, and some documents are mentioned here. Your ID, the ID of shareholders and members of your companies, trade license, BRN, certificate of incorporation, historical files, and a statement of account documents. So as again, as I told you, please check on the website if ever there's been any change from the ministry. This can help you not to go and come back again and again. So as you can see, SME Mauritius, we don't have only one scheme, but we have a set of schemes which may help you. We are talking about communication. I would like to talk about another scheme, which is about marketing. So if you need to revamp your website, if you think that you need to include today, after these seminars with the Sustainable Island Mauritius, you want to revamp your website, you want to add things, you want to talk more about the greening aspect, you want to talk more about what you're doing to protect the environment and to be sustainable, you can do it. We have a scheme which is about marketing, and again, you can take the grants to upgrade your website. The same process will apply. That is 80% of the cost will be covered by SME Mauritius and 20% will be covered by you as an SME. Okay, so two schemes, which is very important for you to know: teams, to have equipment, and the second one is marketing, that is to upgrade your website. If you want to communicate with your customers via apps or over mobile apps, you can also design, develop it, and this again, SME Mauritius will cover these marketing tool up to 80% of the cost. So we move to now another set of, yes, we can move again, we can move the slide. Yes, if we look at the landscape, the ecosystem regarding sustainability in Mauritius, we will see that we have other support, not only from SME Mauritius, but commercial banks also are working through the sustainable grants to help you to go towards greening. You have the SUNREF, which is a sustainable use of natural resources and energy finance, which exists. And here again, it covers three main themes, namely climate change mitigation, climate change adaptation, and gender issues. Of course, you can work on projects which will help you to receive the different loans under these criteria. And three banks that we know, they are working on it, and SMEs can use this loan to go toward sustainability. We have the MCB, the State Bank of Mauritius, and Afrija Bank Limited, banks that we, SME Mauritius, we work with them. And if you can tap this loan, this will also be a great advantage for your business. So we move on to another support. Again, these are the benefits that you have. You can see that the repayment is between 4 to 10 years. That is giving you time to breathe, to implement your project. And this project, what is interesting, it will finance your project up to 100%, which is very interesting compared to what we are offering, which is 80%. Here you can have up to 100%, but again, SME Mauritius offer grants, nothing to pay back, but these loans you will have to meet all their criteria. We have also a bunch of measures which have been announced in the budget, the 2021 and 2022 budget. If we move to the next slide, we will see that the Ministry of Finance have announced a series of measures, of course, to create that green economy. The minister mentioned about the green industry, but we consider that, first of all, as SMEs, we can lead the way, we can show the way, and these are the different measures that have been put in place. Some have been discussed. Darren mentioned about it, about Rodrigues, they're cleaning the island. Mauritius also will be engaged very soon to clean the island, and of course there are many activities which will help. If you see the last point here on my slide, it is the installation of some 400 eco bins around the island and 50,000 bins for household. All these will contribute and will add to have a sustainable and beautiful Mauritius, what we are all looking for, not only for the tourists, but also Mauritian. We want our island to be clean and to be welcoming. So all these together, of course, will make Mauritius beautiful, greener, sustainable, the business also to be sustainable. And if we, the next slide that I'm talking about, which is also my last slide, it is the way forward for further greening of SMEs in Mauritius. The first thing is about the collaboration between the different stakeholders. And this is, I think, the catalyst for a greener and sustainable island is to all stakeholders should work together. This is very important. We are working with Sustainable Island Mauritius, with the Tourism Authority. We are thinking about to come up with a scheme, especially for boat operator, to give them electric motors in the near future. This will again be a collaboration between stakeholders. We have designed specific schemes for those hospitality and tourism hotels, to small hotels, to go to certifications. All these are the different collaboration that we have, and I sincerely believe that we should be working together, be it made in Maurice, to enhance and empower those ladies, and mostly ladies in the handicraft sector, who needs our help to give them all the support to sell products which will make the experience of tourists a unique one and that they will never forget. This is first thing. Second, of course, a change of mindset. We need, yes, SMEs tend to think about profitability first, but we have to inculcate this point that profitability is important, but caring for the environment is of utmost important, because we need to leave the planet to the next generation, and we need also to go toward sustainable economy, which is our future. And of course, what you're actually doing, and we are sincerely proud to be part of it, is further dissemination of information on this concept of greening. That's all for me. Thank you very much. It was a pleasure to be with you today. Thank you very much.
Thank you so much, Michael.